So no, there's nothing wrong with living your life as a woman, with or without kids, with or without a partner, whether monogamous, married, polyamorous, or non-defined relationship. Or if you just don't want any of that and you want to hook up with various people or have a situationship, or like 1% of the population approximately, you want something without sex or no relationship at all, or a combination of everything from aromantic, asexual to polyamory. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, live your life however you want it to be. And if anyone just can't get it, doesn't want to get it, or a combination of both, you don't owe them anything. You don't owe your parents an explanation. You don't owe your siblings, your friends, your coworkers any kind of explanation. That's one of the joys about being an adult. You can tell people to go fuck themselves, and they can go away. There's nothing wrong with living the life on your terms, as long as everyone involved is an adult, they consent, they have informed choice, and you're not hurting any existing partners that aren't consenting, like cheating, swinging, anything that is not consensual among existing partners or between new or existing members of an event or relationship. Everything beyond that is fine. I do have a problem with the Quiver full movement. There's nothing wrong with having kids, having a traditional family, or something very untraditional but heterosexual. Fine. The problem is, the Quiver full movement sees nothing positive, nothing valuable, rewarding, or defendable in anything that isn't cis or heterosexual. And what does that mean? If somebody is not straight, or identify and live according to their gender role or gender anatomy, they don't see it as a viable, great option. And so yes, the Quiverful movement is one of the most extreme anti-LGBTQIA groups in America. Any group that believes that the only way to live is as heterosexual, as straight, as 1950s trad wife, trad family possible is inherently homophobic. Anything that believes that there is only one viable, one godly, one decent and permissible way to have a family, have sex, and to exist in society as anything only cis and heterosexual is innately and without question homophobic, transphobic, acephobic. I mean, put anything in front of phobic and it's about right. Because they don't see any group of people who were born a certain way, who are living a consensual, agreed upon, informed lifestyle as something worth celebrating, defending, protecting, and talking about in any positive way. Any modern or old-fashioned idea that centers around protecting the kids against anything that isn't natural or decent and permissible, any institution or group, religious or secular, that wants to protect minors from normal, expected, acceptable, and social defendable ways of life is inherently homophobic. Any group that says we need to protect the children and wants to protect children from anything non-straight is homophobic. There are many viable ways to live your life. And in my opinion, The most viable way to live your life is on your own terms, without harming yourself or any other person. If you believe in the Bible, according to the Bible, the best way to live is to be child-free, single, and serving the needy. There is no lifestyle choice better than that. And I don't advocate what the Bible says. But if you want to do the most good, be the person who has the most available time. Society has never valued, respected, applauded, or educated the next generation to seeing as much value in singlehood and child-free lifestyles as they do marriage and the nuclear family. Any group that is inherently supportive of the nuclear, heterosexual-only groups and lifestyles is inherently wicked. It makes people believe that there's something wrong with living anything but the nuclear family. History is remembered. History remembers people who do not conform, who lived different lives, who looked at the world in a different way. Look at the poets, the playwrights, the medical geniuses, the scientists, the inventors. If they had conformed to a heterosexual gender role where you could only believe one thing, we would have few inventions, few poets. History remembers people who dared to dance to a different tune. They dared to see the world differently. Some of them lost their lives in pursuit of truth beyond mythology and archaic belief systems. And those archaic belief systems, they still exist. Every country that restricts women's reproductive rights, women's ability to move, own property, gay people of any of the different groups within queer society, any group that their life, their openness, their ability to be themselves is restricted, is as religious concept as you can go. Religion thrives on creating a group of people that are deemed more valuable based on how they live their life compared to other groups of people. If heterosexual straight people had to endure a year of what gay people, atheists, women, minorities go through every day, there would be a lot of social change. Because if men had to suffer the way women do every day, they would immediately change how it runs. Men would never permit their reproductive rights to be controlled and monitored. I don't know of any society that has allowed the control of male reproductive choices. Men wouldn't permit it. If any woman tried to control the reproductive rights of a woman, she'd die. She would die. And yet women are told that men who have almost never been pregnant, who have never experienced trimesters of pregnancy, they've never experienced the hormonal changes and menopause that women go through with little to no compassion from people. I am flabbergasted that women still put up with men to this day. From the disdain, the apathy, just the general dislike that men treat women with. The Quiverful movement is homophobic, transphobic. It's anti-woman, anti-woman's rights and value. It is abhorrent The movement is ultra-conservative, evangelical, Protestant, Christian theology, propaganda as evil and wicked as fascism and Nazism. It promotes the idea that Christians and non-believers should have as many children as possible, reject birth control, and adhere to strict patriarchal, archaic, violent, complementary gender roles. The theology and social framework of the movement condemns any lifestyle that does not beget children or a biblical hetero union. This entails monogamy, women being the sole emotional labor, to being used, exploited. I mean, there is not one way men who are heterosexual haven't done everything to women. It's very cult-like. There's a reason why the Duggars all wore the same clothes, the same haircuts, because they hate anyone. They view anyone, child, woman, or man, who does not adhere. It's the Stepford wife nightmare. It dehumanizes gay, trans, non-binary, lesbians, anyone who seeks a genuine connection with a consensual adult partner who care about each other. The Quiverful movement villainizes them and equates them to being predators. Even though, like I said in numerous videos before, the group of people most likely to harm your kids are the cis heterosexual people who love the institution of marriage because it gives them the image of respectability. And we don't know how respectable they are. You will never know the inside of how wonderful a family is until the kids grow up, leave the home, and talk about their experiences. The idea of Christian marriage, biblical marriage, is an affront to women's autonomy, agency, and sexuality. The Quiverful movement agrees that women's sexuality must be entirely adhered and controlled through monogamous heterosexual lifestyle. Women do not have any agency or autonomy in any world religion like Christianity, Islam. They don't. They can't. Any institution that was created, controlled, and regulated by cis heterosexual men, usually of white privilege, is inherently misogynistic. It can't be anything else. How could it be? Just because abuse doesn't happen in your church doesn't mean the systems are doing everything it can to make your life hard. Women's lives are hard in Christianity. Because what else can they be? The system works against you. The system, and girls are taught from the first day they're born until the day they marry. Their value is in their virginity. Their value is, can you cook? Can you clean? What can you offer men? It's never about what men can offer you, besides a simple home. I feel bad for women. They have very few choices. And for some women, they grow up and realize, you know what? I deserve better. I deserve a husband who sees me as an equal. I deserve a living arrangement and a family that values me for more than just being a whole and a free maid. Women deserve so much better. And I hope someday that all world religions become as obsolete as possible. Because until these world religions are viewed as they really are, an institution to protect and advance men's privilege, we'll never protect little girls from awful situations like forced marriage and genital mutilation. Women deserve better. They deserve the world. They deserve to be more than just arm candy for a man who doesn't see them as an equal. And any non-straight person out there, you deserve better. You deserve miles better than being forced into a role just because you happen to be XY or Y or X or anything in between. You deserve better. Luckily, I figured it out by 31, at least figured out enough that I don't have to put up with crap no more. I see my value. I want to be more than just a hoe or a wife. I deserve better. And so do you.